All right, guys, I want to welcome you to the Do Work Podcast. The Do Work Podcast is a weekly podcast where we discuss all things entrepreneurship, mindfulness, motivation, just really diving into self-improvement and becoming the best version of ourselves possible. And one thing we say here all the time is that nothing changes unless you do. Nothing changes unless you do the work. And today is no different, guys. Today is no different. So today we are in the midst of our 31 days of motivation and mindfulness series. And today is day 8. Today is day 8. Yes, it is. So today we are going to talk about, and you're going to love this. Today we're going to talk about minding your business. Now I know you're probably like, Diva, what about that is inspiring or motivational mindfulness? Well, the thing about this is simple. Minding your business allows you to protect your peace without getting involved with so many other things. Now, again, this is day 8, 31 days of motivation and mindfulness. And I was thinking long and hard about this. Like, why is this important to you being mindful? Well, I'm going to tell you why. I have a very basic rule that I've kind of lived by all my life. Basic rule I live by all my life. And it's simply this. If it does not affect my family, my finances, or my safety, it's none of my business. Now, of course, on a larger scale, but we're talking like some crazy world event and I got to get involved. Yeah, I'm going to get involved. I get involved in a lot of things. But again, if it doesn't involve my family, my finances, or my safety, it's not my business. And I know it's hard because a lot of times we all want to be super helpful. We want to be supportive, but we really have to realize that sometimes our getting involved in situations where we may not have the whole story. So unless you're vested in, diligently sorting truths from lies, it's important not to get involved because your involvement is only based on one side. I know. And we all tend to be biased to our friends, sometimes our family. Your involvement is only based on one side. So it is very important, if it does not directly affect you, for you to mind your business. Now, again, we're not talking about general safety of the world and mankind. I'm talking about your sister called you complaining and something about her boyfriend and she don't understand and she wants you to get involved. Mind your business. A co-worker is having a situation at work. They want your advice, but they might not take it. They're kind of, on the fence, and it's more of them complaining without taking action. Mind your business. I know it's hard. And some people don't realize that you getting involved in other people's business affects your spirit. It affects your energy. It affects you on a day-to-day. Because once you get involved, now you've taken on that energy and that problem, and it starts to consume you. And that's, nobody wants to be in that space because you're like, why am I so tired? Why am I so drained? Because you're worried about other people's shit. You're getting involved in other people's shit. And let's be honest, we all got our own shit to deal with. There's nothing wrong with helping your fellow man. It's a time and place for all that. But we have to help ourselves first before we can reach out and help others. And it's important for you to not get involved in things that do not concern you. A prime example of that is the new term Karens, the Karens of the world. They are constantly getting involved in things that do not concern them. They're trying to police a world in which they don't control. Do not get involved in things that do not concern you. Mind your business. Your life will be a lot less stressed. I've seen so many people. I've had people call me and come to me and talk to me and be so passionate and worked out about things that really don't concern them. Things that don't concern them, things they really can't change or fix. They just upset because they're minding other people's business and upsetting their energy and disrupting, their balance and their peace. You got to have some discernment here, people. There's a time to get involved, and there's times, and most times it's not your time. Most times it's not your time. If you feel like you always got to say something, you're probably a person that needs to do a better job of minding their business. I rarely feel like I always got to say something. So everything doesn't need to be addressed. Everything doesn't need a reaction. You have to learn to mind your business. The mindfulness portion of this series, and you'll see as we go along, a lot of it is about you protecting your peace at whatever cost. And let's be honest, it may, you protecting your peace may crush other people and hurt their feelings, but I always say people have to do what's best for them. And I'm going to tell you right now, what's best for you, whoever you are, is to mind your business. If you're a person who's always in other people's affairs, and you're always gossiping, and you're worried about what other people doing, and did you hear, or did you say, and mind your damn business. And we all know people like that who are constantly in other people's businesses. Mind your business. I'm telling you, it will, it will change your life. So you're probably like, well, Diva, how do I mind my business? I'm going to run it back for you. Here you go. Step 1, ask yourself, does this affect my personal family? Ask yourself that. That's question number 1. Question number 2, about whether or not you should be minding your business. Ask yourself, does this affect my personal safety? Now, clearly, if something's going on out in the street and you choose to get involved, that's your choice. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about you. Number 2 is, does it affect my personal safety? And number 3, does it affect my finances? Is me getting involved going to improve my income? And I know somebody's like, that's so harsh. Sometimes you getting involved can decrease your income. So I say to you, question number 3 is simply, does me getting involved improve my income? And if my answer is no, then I'm going to step back. If you're not sure whether or not your involvement is going to improve a situation, you probably need to step back and mind your business. Because complicating it is probably going to complicate, complicating it is probably going to complicate your life. And when we talk about mindfulness, it's about living in a state where we try to maintain our peace. And that's not to say that every day is all zen and happy and perfect, but you want to try and maintain your peace, maintain that balance, whatever that may consist of. Feel me? All right, guys, 31 days of motivation and mindfulness. This was day 8. We were talking about minding your business. Make sure to subscribe to my newsletter at divarichards.com. Also, make sure, if you haven't, follow me on Instagram, Diva Richards, and make sure to follow my business as well. Hard Work No Excuses, my LLC, my brick and mortar, the gym I own. And I really want you guys to go through this series, repeat these days, share, follow me on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you see this and it works for you, follow me there, share with a friend. Yo, somebody needs to hear this today. All right. 31 days of mindfulness and motivation. This is the Do Work Podcast. All right, guys, remember, and I'm only going to say it one time and one time only. Remember, nothing changes unless you do. Nothing changes unless what? You do the work, family.